So the team of us made this executive decision that we're only going to air on Zoom with music. And then after the fact, I will take out the songs and then I will air them on YouTube. So the bonus is we get to play whatever the heck music we want. We can have all your favorite artists from all the years, and it's quite exciting. So after the Sunday gathering, if you want to go to wedon'tdie.com and click on the Sunday gathering link, that's where you'll find all the full replays with the music. So if you want to share it with your friends, that's the way to do it. Okay. This is Sunday gathering number 120, and we've got great music that Phil has picked out. So let me go right ahead and share, and we will meet back up at the top of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to our 120th Sunday gathering. I'm Sandra Champlain, and before I turn it over to Phil to talk about what he's planned for today, I just have to tell you a short story. There was once a boy in the Philippines, in Manila. Arnel Pineda was his name, and his mother taught him at a very young age to embrace singing in his dreams. And at the age of 13, she died. Mom died, which left him homeless in the streets. He would pick up scrap metal and sell it to live. But he loved music, and so he would go from band to band trying to be a singer. Well, he started a YouTube channel, and did you know that Journey had lost their lead singer, Steve Perry, and for 10 years, they were looking for a singer. And lo and behold, on YouTube, they found this young man from the Philippines. Arnel Pineda became the lead singer in 2007. And I love at the end, I'm all teary, but he shouts out to the homeless and the hungry, don't stop believing. So it's such an inspiring story, and I'm so grateful, Phil, you picked that song. So I'm going to turn it over to you to share what our Sunday gathering is about today.
Well, Sandra, it shows the synchronicity, because we never spoke about that, and I was going to speak about, but you've done it. It's absolutely fantastic. So he's touched so many people's lives, and for that dream to come through, it's absolutely marvelous. And that's what today's about: motivation. Motivation to never stop believing, just as Journey's just sung. But sometimes life does not knock us down, but we get back up again, don't we? So, ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I remember saying that 120 times ago. It's incredible, isn't it? 120 Sunday gatherings. And it's been a joy, every single one of them, I've got to say that. But today is no different, because that theme of motivation, and myself, Sandra, Darren and Kerry, we're still motivated. We're still really bringing that passion as much as we can. So today, Darren Wynn is going to be doing the opening and closing prayer. Sandra is going to be doing the usual reading and healing and announcements and the DJing, and it just keeps on going and going and going. Then we've got Kerry doing the address. But we're joined by two wonderful people, and we're going to start with Avril Johnson-Craig, all the way down from Australia. And I'm struggling to say that, actually, Avril, because I watched you this morning on the Brisbane service. Okay?
Your last night.
So your last night, that's what I was thinking at the same time. So a medium in your own right, and wonderful demonstration this morning. We're lucky enough to have you again today, but I can't be as lucky as this morning, because I did get a contact. So thank you very much for that contact. It was wonderful, the first time that person has ever come through. We also have a wonderful gentleman from Canada. You saw him just a few weeks ago, Mr. Tim Southwell, again, another medium in his own right, and he's just worked at Lilydale in North America there as well. So it's brilliant to have you back with us, Tim, and Avril too. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Darren to do the opening prayer. But I want to say thank you for everybody that sent those donations. You don't have to, but they're much appreciated. And those messages of support as well. And just to remind you, this is number 120.
Thank you for that introduction, Phil, and thank you for putting together a wonderful theme. I'm looking forward to it thoroughly. So if you'd all like to close your eyes and join me for the opening prayer so we can get started. With our own free will, we come here together today united as friends, brothers and sisters under that banner of We Don't Die. We come together as one here today with no boundaries or barriers. We come together from different countries around our globe, speaking different languages and different dialects, coming together from different experiences and different backgrounds. But we come here today in the name of love. As we enter into this Sunday gathering, we enter into this experience, putting aside our own desires, our own wants, and our own needs, and enter into this experience with an open heart and an open mind, with no demands or expectations, and allowing our friends, helpers, and loved ones from the unseen world, along with our workers here today, to be open and free, so we can all experience the true essence, love, and joy of that is the world unseen. We ask that our dear friends, helpers, and loved ones be here with us once again today, and work with our workers here present, and allow your thoughts and words to cascade through their minds of the workers here today, so it can be seen and heard by all here present, to continue to bring us this moments of healing, love, joy, and upliftment. As we enter into our Sunday gathering today and the theme of motivation, we all enter into this experience with nothing but love within our hearts and smiles upon our faces, for the joy that is uniting the two worlds together as one once again. And we ask throughout this gathering and after this gathering that the healing light continues to cascade around all four corners of our globe, to continue to bring peace and happiness to all those hearts and minds that may be in need at this time. So once again, friends, we welcome you here today. Amen.
Thank you very much, Darren. And I'm sure everyone agrees, Darren does the best prayers and gets us right where we need to be, joining the two worlds. Thank you, Darren. We recently had a theme of inspiration for the Sunday gathering, so I really had to do some soul searching when Phil asked me to do a reading on motivation. What's the difference? I asked myself. To me, that feeling of being moved and my soul touched and the goosebumps, that's the feeling of inspiration. And it's a feeling that can sometimes lead us to take action. But motivation, that's the action. When you hear the words, I was motivated to, there's always action that follows. So for today's reading, I'm actually going to read an obituary. I'm hoping this will inspire all of us to take action on whatever it is that's important to us and not fall prey to motivation's evil cousin, which is procrastination. So this is quite a lengthy obituary, but you'll know why when I start reading it. It's from October 16th, 2017. Harriet Thompson, a 3-time cancer survivor who ran her first marathon at the age of 76, then 16 years later became the oldest woman ever to complete one, died early Monday morning in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was 94. Her son, Brenneman Thompson, said she was placed into hospice care after being injured in a fall October 6th while delivering gifts to neighbors at the Cypress of Charlotte Retirement Community in South Park. The grandmother of 10, she became a media sensation in 2015 when, at the age of 92, she received a world record finish at the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon. Dressed in the purple Team in Training t-shirt and ball cap, purple shoes and purple shorts over white tights, she was concealing bandages that covered wounds from radiation treatment from skin cancer. Thompson crossed the finish line in 7 hours, 24 minutes, and 36 seconds. Just this past June, at the age of 94 and 69 days, Thompson returned to the San Diego event. Although she was unable to attempt the full marathon, she completed the half marathon in 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 56 seconds, once more setting a record by becoming the oldest woman to do so. Born Harriet Line on March 27th, 1923, she grew up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, developed a reputation as a tomboy, she said, because she was constantly trying to measure up to her 4 brothers. Harriet was passionate about playing the piano and honed the skills that helped her earn a music scholarship at Syracuse University. She and her husband, Sidnor, had 5 children that were born between 1951 and 1962. Twice, Harriet took all 5 of them across the Atlantic on a French ocean liner to spend a year as a single mom in Vienna so that the kids could learn a different language and culture, while Sidnor remained in the States practicing law. She would go on to earn an artist's diploma from the Vienna Conservatory and gave a piano debut in the Austrian capital. Back in the United States, she was invited to play 3 times at Carnegie Hall and spent 34 consecutive years summering in Aspen, Colorado, where she played piano for the Aspen Chapel and enjoyed the summer-long Aspen Music Festival and School. At the Cypress Retirement Community, she was legendary both for her music and for her fitness. When she wasn't training for races, she could be found several times a week, getting her heart rate up in one of the Cypress exercise classes. Cancer had been the root of many tragedies in her life. Her mother, her father, and 3 of her 4 brothers died of cancer. And in 1985, Thompson had her first cancer scare when doctors discovered a cancerous spot on the roof of her mouth. They wound up removing her upper jaw. Thompson would compete in the San Diego Marathon every year for the next 13 years, even in 2010, 2011, and 2012, when she was in the middle of a second prolonged battle with oral cancer. In 2013, her streak was broken when the doctors insisted on removing all but 1 of her teeth to combat the disease. In 2014, at 91, she returned to that race, despite not yet fully recovered from radiation treatments for a new cancer, the carcinoma on her legs. But she proceeded to finish in 7 hours, 7 minutes, and 42 seconds. According to USA Track and Field, that performance set a new record for the fastest marathon ever run by a 90 to 94-year-old woman. The former mark was much slower, 8 hours, 53 minutes, and 8 seconds. Her husband of 67 years, Sidnor, died in January 2015 at the age of 90 after his own long battle with cancer. 4 months later, Harriet flew west to tackle what would be her final and most historic marathon. At the age of 92, and after her nearly 7.5-hour jaunt, Thompson was welcomed at the finish line outside the San Diego Padres Petco Park with confetti, cannons, and a throng of reporters. Harriet Thompson is survived by her 5 children and her 10 grandchildren. And as a little bonus, I want to introduce you to Harriet and show you a special little video about her. It is motivating. Oh, well, if that doesn't make you want to get off the couch, I don't think anything will. I love that, and I hope it touched you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into our healing segment, yes. And yes, beautiful to listen to the song and send healing, that healing intent to the world. Visualize the people you love in your life and those that need healing and the areas that need healing, being whole, complete, and perfect. But also during this healing, if you want to pray for a little motivation for people, yourself included, to conquer whatever hill you're climbing and to fulfill any dream that you have. We are here. We are your friends. We are your community. We are an army of cheerleaders by your side, as well as you have an army of cheerleaders in the unseen world around you. So let's move into our healing song.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for that beautiful healing. And I have to say, it's incredibly humbling to watch a video about a lady who has achieved so much in her life that you spoke about, Sandra, there, and has kept on going. Now that is motivation beyond anything I've probably heard of before. And when we think about motivation, we often think about motivation from outside of us, somebody cheering us on. But I wonder where that beautiful lady went within herself to be motivated to do such an incredible feat time and time and time again. And I don't know if anybody has ever run a marathon before. It actually is quite exhausting. I've done a marathon before, and afterwards you are feeling as if the world just wants to open up and you to fall asleep within it. A marathon is an incredibly difficult thing to do. So to be able to do one year after year after year is an incredible feat to do. And we all know that we need motivation at times. We need to be motivated. We need to understand what motivates us. But often that motivation can be dropping, it can be interfered with, and it can be affected by our very own mindset. We can have, I know on previous Sunday gatherings, we've talked about inspiration, about being passive and active, and motivation can have a similar effect on us. Motivation can come from two different places. It can come from outside of us, from the people we hang about with. I know Sandra, Phil and I had a discussion very recently about being motivated by the people that are around us and becoming motivated and similar to the people around about us, and having that drive that comes from being around these people that allows us to believe that we can do more. That external motivation can't be replaced by anything else because it is needed in every part of our lives. It is needed. The people around about us that we phone, that we reach to, that we speak to, that we write to, that we think of, that inspire us, that get us back on track in terms of what we want to achieve. Motivation is about having a goal. If you think about those people in the world that have achieved incredible success, and I don't mean financial success, I don't mean fame, and I don't mean fortune, I mean a success that allows them to express their purpose with a passion that you could never question. That kind of motivation. Think about somebody that has motivated you, that time after time they have been knocked down and yet they've got back up. You heard in that healing song how it says, please don't let go of my hand. Have you ever heard somebody say to you, regardless of whatever happens, please call me? Don't give up. If you have a doubtful thought or you have a moment where you feel I can't do any more, call me. Don't let go of my hand. You've maybe done that for another because you know that they just require that extra little something in that moment to keep them going. That external motivation is extremely valuable in the times where we lose confidence. We maybe lose sight of who we are, about what we're doing. We maybe lose sight of what we thought our purpose was, or our purpose changes and we have to re-alter our direction. Those times can be incredibly frightening for us. But if we've got people around about us that will say, you can do this. Don't let go of my hand. You can do this. Then it makes the journey a little bit less difficult. Doesn't make it easy. Doesn't take away the difficult spots. Doesn't take away the trials and the tribulations. What it does is have somebody you can reach out to that you know will say, you can do this. Keep going. Remember why you started this journey. And then you've got the type of motivation that comes from within you. That motivation that happens within yourself because you have a belief. I know that at times in my life, you might be the same. I had a belief that was so powerful. I felt it was given to me by something greater than any human being. Whatever you want to call that greater good, that greater presence, I knew that my drive came from a place, not of a person, but a part of me that connected to that, and it gave me purpose. And that purpose has changed through my life. It's always involved people. Now it involves people that can't necessarily be seen by all, but it has always involved people. Your motivation might be something different. When you listen to a piece of music, when you play a piece of music, when you draw or paint a piece of art, when you sculpture something, when you run, when you sing, when you demonstrate, when you do a private reading, when you orate a talk, when you make somebody feel comfortable because you help them in their healing process, whether you teach, whether you comfort, whether you aid people in the background by doing things that the community would not necessarily cope with without. All of us that work in the back office of society, all of us in the offices, the factories, the places where the things that we don't do are seen, those matter. Find purpose in what you do. Find purpose in knowing that your part in what you're doing is important. I'll always remember a talk that I heard, I think it was Oprah Winfrey talked about it, how she heard a presidency that when that president went to NASA and spoke to a cleaner and said, "What are you doing here? How do you keep motivated?" And he said, "I'm helping put a man on the moon." That's knowing within yourself that you have a purpose. Now, that internal motivation can be one of the hardest to find, because you can't pick up the phone and dial into that creative force of life and say, "I need download right now." You can't just reach out to somebody and be told that you matter and that you need to not forget where you're going. You need to sit in that silence, and maybe you do. Sit within that silence and go within. When you know your purpose, you set your compass to your true north, and you make everything that happens in your life head you towards that direction. That motivation comes from within you, and everything else, whether it gets in the way or not, becomes a decision within your direction. But that decision allows you to remain motivated from within you. When you know your true purpose, whether it be helping people, helping animals, helping society, helping the greater good, helping mankind, whatever that purpose is, that internal motivation will keep you going. Some of our greatest spiritual teachers have had the toughest of lives. That's why they can speak with all honesty that they have had to find that motivation within themselves. When we look at what drives us, when you look at what drives you, in your deepest, darkest moment is when you can find your most deepest part of you that motivates you. But you have to first have felt the exhilaration of feeling in touch with that in that moment of motivation. You can't be motivated about something you've never experienced. When you've had that moment where you know where you're going, you know what it's about, you know why you're doing it, then that in your deepest, darkest moment is where you go to, the memory. I was always told by a very close friend and mentor of mine now in the spirit world, "Kerry, you can go back and get in touch with anything in the past that touched your soul, any group of people, any situation. You can sit within the power of that memory. You can rekindle it, and you'll find your purpose, and you will find your motivation to get back up and do it again." That internal motivation can be the only place sometimes we can head to when all around about us seems a little bit disheveled and mixed up. When those around about you are looking at you, perhaps doubting you, perhaps questioning you, perhaps purposely trying to bring you down. that internal motivation is a place you can go to when you believe why you're doing something. Get back in touch with what you believe. Get back in touch why you started the journey you're on, and get back in touch with what motivated you in the first place. Then remember to reach out to the people that give you that step up when you need it, that tell you you can do it when you're not sure if you can, and that remind you of the power you have within yourself when you forget that power you have. Motivation is a journey. It is a journey on to finding something. And the journey will change, the destinations will change, the experiences will change. But motivation in itself is the same process. And in fact, motivation is one of the easiest things to do. You know, the difficult part is remembering to do it, remembering to check in with self, remembering to call these people that spur you on, not letting the ego get in the way that says, I don't need anybody, or I don't want to reach out because I might look foolish, or I don't want to reach out in case they think. Those people you trust, those people that love you, those people that care, would never think that. Those people you love and trust and care about want the best for you, because when they've got those moments, they reached out to you. Motivation is layered. It is layered with all different aspects. But to be truly motivated, you have to believe in yourself. You have to have that confidence in the passion for what you're doing. Not 100% of the time. That would be an inhumane feat, not impossible perhaps. Everybody's human, we all have our moments. But motivation can mean reaching into your CD or music collection and pulling out that song that just spurs you on, that reading that poetry that touches your soul, or remembering a moment that you felt alive, and then get up and remember why you're doing it. Motivation, 2 places, external, internal. Know what you need and then do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carrie. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you feeling motivated? Press your raise hand if you are. Do it, do it, do it. I think you are. Well, we are going to move into our demonstration of mediumship. And I know many people have sent us some really kind words in our chat box. We don't have time to respond, but we have read each one of them. As we move into our demonstration today, we have the wonderful Avril and Tim being our mediums today. And if this is your first time with us, I'm going to just let you know how this goes. The spirit world have organized our Sunday gathering. Much as we think all this is our ideas, I have a sneaky suspicion that they plant some of these ideas in our mind, working together to deliver this to you. So they know full well who is in our congregation here. I know we're being connected by iPhones and tablets and computers all over this world, but they know exactly who is here. There is an intelligence about it, and they will work with our mediums today and plant seeds and memories and messages and thoughts and pictures and all kinds of things to get to the person that they are looking for. So when a spirit person steps in, you'll hear either Avril or Tim give a few initial bits of information about that person. And yes, we are people. We are not balls of energy. We are real people in the other world. So they'll give those first initial few statements about that person. And we really want you to listen in clearly, because it could be a loved one, it could be a friend, it could be somebody a little distant. This is not the time to leave your computer. Stay here if you can, because it may just be for you. But if you can understand 100% of the information that's coming through is, oh, I know that person. Now they no longer walk this earth, but if you can recognize every bit, we want you to press that raise hand button. So if you haven't yet exercised your finger in pressing the button, go find that raise hand button on your device, press it if you like, see what happens on your end. Everybody does this, audience participation, it's great. And then it should say lower hand, and you can press it one more time to lower your hand. Now, I know there's some people out for walks right now because I think their phone might be in their pocket because it's going raise hand, off hand since we started. So just pay close attention that you're not accidentally pressing your raise hand button. If you're a person that will work with one of our mediums, I press a button on my side, which will allow you to unmute yourself. You don't see that button just yet. And then you can work with the medium. Now, the medium will deliver different bits of information about the person that is working with them. All we need you to do is say one of three responses: yes, no, or I don't know. And please be honest. Yes, you can understand the information. No, that doesn't make sense. Or unhonest, I don't know. The wonderful Carrie and Phil teach that no simply means new opportunity to look inside what we missed and re-deliver. So that's all there is to it. So we're going to start with Avril and then go on to Tim. Before we start any demonstration, though, we love to play a piece of music. And well, Phil picked another goodie. And just sit. You don't need to really invite your loved ones to be here because they're already here. But if you just want to picture your loved ones in the room around you, if you want to dance in your chair, feel free. If you can see any of us during these songs, I'm not sure if you can or you can't, but we're always dancing in our seats. So here we go. Next. I love that. Avril, you got that feeling?
I certainly hope so. What a fantastic theme, and it's quite profound. You know, motivation sounds quite superficial, but it certainly isn't. So wonderful words, and also I have to say, I'm laughing because all the songs and all the context, it really refers also to the journey of mediumship. You know, get down, get back up again, get motivated. What motivates you? It's the higher power. So the synchronicity of today it's always very, very magical. And I was also laughing at the videos because it got me feeling the presence of the spirit world, and some of the information coming through. And I'm trying to push it back and hold on, wait, don't let my head interfere. But let's get started. Without more ado, I am aware of a gentleman in the spirit world, and I believe this man piloted an airplane. And I also believe that that this plane got lost in the mist. So can I ask anyone, does anyone understand this gentleman?
And if you do, please press your raise hand button. No hands up just yet, Avril.
No hands up just yet. I'm so aware of this gentleman. He may not have piloted the plane, but I know that the plane got lost in bad weather. And if no one understands that,
Lisa has her hand up. Let's bring in Lisa.
Hi, Sandra. Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Lisa. You would know that this gentleman got lost whilst flying in bad weather.
Yes, but he was not the pilot.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. And I also feel that he quite fancied himself as a pilot.
Yes.
And he must have had some obsession with watching films on daredevil pilots.
I'm not sure.
Okay. And I believe this man also served in the military.
Yes.
And as part of his, have we got another, as part of his training, I believe he would have come into contact with pilots.
Yes.
But I also know with him, he liked to tell a really good shaggy dog story.
Yes.
So he would start with the basic facts, but then he would elaborate quite significantly.
Yes. Sorry.
And Lisa, I feel that this would actually, he'd get a bit, this would trip him up at times.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I feel so this man is in family, correct?
Yes.
Um,
He's my brother-in-law.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. And as you say that, I know that you had a great rapport with your brother-in-law.
Yes.
But I feel that not everyone in the family appreciated his liberty with the truth.
Yes.
And I know that he never saw a problem with that.
No.
Is that correct? He didn't see a problem with not being truthful at all times.
No, he did not see a problem with that.
Yeah. And I feel that you would understand, he'd be particularly grateful to you for being supportive of him within the family.
Yes.
And I said liberty earlier, but I'm very drawn to New York with your brother-in-law. Would you understand he took a journey to New York?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Then I just feel New York would be something he would have wanted to do, wanted to visit.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, right. I know there's great determination with your brother-in-law.
Yes.
And towards the end of his life, I know that physically it was very difficult.
Somewhat.
It was somewhat difficult.
Yes, somewhat.
But I really know that physically he didn't stop trying.
Yes.
And I know that you're someone that physically doesn't stop trying.
Yes. Oh,
even though life's a bit of a marathon at times.
Yes.
And I just feel he's coming forward with that today to. So I can't get this the New York and the liberty out of my mind. Is this something you've thought about doing?
I did. Yes, I did. I did.
But you did, but I feel it's I could sense the words in your wildest dreams. So, and I feel this is his humor. Because you must have you have many thoughts of traveling to many places.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to say he's encouraging you, he's motivating you, he's going through the marathon with you. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for letting me bring your brother-in-law forward, Lisa.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Avril.
Now, I'm aware of a lady in the spirit world, and I believe this lady worked as a waitress. And I know that this, I really feel this was her job for most of her life. Can I ask if anyone understands this, can recognize this lady?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can recognize this lady, please press your raise hand button. We have Christine with her hand up here. And Christine, you should be able to press your
It
unmute
could be
button.
me.
Hello.
Hello.
Christine, you would also understand the name Cindy.
You say that again, please?
Could you understand the name Cindy in spirit?
No, I'm afraid not.
Okay, well, let me continue as this lady comes closer and see where we go with this. I know with this lady that although her job wasn't high profile, she really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear that. Was that a yes?
That's a yes.
And this lady lived to laugh.
She laughed a lot. Yes.
She laughed a lot, and that was something very special about her.
Not sure.
Okay, but I know she's drawing me to laughing a lot, and oh, would you understand that she had to laugh a lot in her life? I feel life could be quite difficult at times.
Yes.
All right. But I know with this lady as well, in the workplace, she didn't ever consider anyone better than anyone else.
True.
I know that she had a lot to say about management. So I believe that she had a really keen eye for what was being done wrong in the workplace.
Yes.
But I feel that her way of contributing was to do her job as best she could.
Yes.
Now, just going back to Cindy, would you understand that this lady liked Cyndi Lauper, the singer?
No.
All right. But she certainly had the motto, girls just love to have fun.
Yes.
And I do feel that this lady, she would use lyrics of songs in everyday language.
I don't remember.
Okay. I'm just not picking that up quite right yet. And then I believe this lady had a profound influence on you.
Yes.
Because I know that she was very grounded in reality.
Yes.
And she could remain very solid in her beliefs despite quite a lot of conflict and uncertainty around her.
I'm going to give you a no on that.
Okay, I'm glad you gave me a no, because I want to get to the crux of this. So I'm right in saying this lady worked in a diner?
No.
No. But certainly she... Am I right in saying this is your mum, Christine?
No.
I have to go back to the laughter, because that's what she came in with. But I'd be right in saying that this lady did have quite a profound influence on you when you were growing up.
No.
Okay, thank you. I'm not quite got that correct. Then you would understand that this lady met some quite famous people in her work.
Possibly.
part of the
Possibly.
workplace. I just feel that she would have come across celebrities and people like that.
There might have been one or two.
Yeah, and I know that she would have taken great delight in that.
Hmm.
And would you understand that she used to get autographs of some celebrities?
I don't know that.
But you would understand that you used to get autographs of celebrities?
No.
Okay. Right. I do know that this lady passed of an illness,
No.
but she certainly ran out of time, Christine. You'd understand that.
Yes.
That sounds very vague, and I'm sorry, but that's all I'm picking up from that. And I do feel sadness with that towards the end of her life.
Yes.
But I know that you would have brought her some laughter and joy and cherished memories.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to leave you with that and say thank you very much for helping me bring her forward. And thank you for the nose. It's really appreciated.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
As I become aware of a person's spirit world again, I'm aware of a gentleman. I know this gentleman's in family. And I believe this is someone's partner in spirit. And I believe that he really believed in tough love. Now that sounds very vague, but I'm going to put that out and see if anyone recognizes their partner in spirit who really believed in tough love.
Thank you, Avril. We have Tatiana with her hand raised. Tatiana, hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if this is me, but a partner and believes in tough love. I connect to.
So you believe in tough love?
No, he
did, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. And because I believe this man really struggled to find true love throughout his life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I know from the way that's come forward, he could quite surprise you in that not everything he said seemed that loving.
Yeah, sometimes.
Because I know, as I said that, I know you were the love of his life.
Yes.
And although he came forward and said that he had a difficult time finding true love, and he kind of left it there. So I know he wasn't the best at coming forward and sharing his feelings.
Yeah, he was not as emotive as I am.
Yeah, but I know that actually he when he did share his feelings, it would bring him to tears.
Yeah.
Because I know he was a tough guy on the outside, but on the inside, he was a real big softy.
Yep.
And I know he had to be tough because of the work that he did.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I do feel that he drove trucks.
He it's not professionally, but he loved trucks.
And I've got I've got a vision of these big monster trucks.
You liked monster trucks. He never drove any, but he always wanted to.
And I'm just becoming aware that a previous contact spoke about stories of being a pilot, but he really, really wanted to drive those monster trucks.
Yes, he did.
And boy, the things he could do on these monster trucks. And would you understand the name Greg, Tatiana?
Greg, no.
But you would understand that your partner liked the program House, the medical program.
That was one of, yeah, he wasn't, I mean, it was a program he liked, but not one that I would think he would.
But it's like, I'm very drawn to the main character in that.
I think
And
I
the
might
doctor.
understand. I might understand why. I might understand why.
Okay. And because I know that doctors were his worst enemy.
Yes.
And he really did not understand when doctors gave him a diagnosis. Can you understand?
Not really that he didn't understand.
Right. Let me go into that a bit further.
Okay.
But he would contradict them.
Sometimes, yes.
And I feel that was to do with the condition that he passed with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel this condition was very, very unique.
It was.
And very unusual.
Yes.
And he needed Dr. House to cure it.
Yep. Yes. We used to say that all the time.
And I just know that his resilience and your love, and I'm becoming quite emotional with that, your love got him through.
Yes.
And please don't ever doubt that it was true love.
I don't doubt it for a second.
But boy, did he like to tease you, Tatiana.
He did.
And it's very difficult to say, but I have to say that he felt that with your love, he completed everything he had to do in his short time here.
Wow. I can see that. I can see that.
And he just wants you to know that he's not giving up on the idea of you joining him on those monster trucks.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. And thank you, Avril. Thank you so much, you wonderful lady, and for your commitment to the spirit world. So next we have our good friend, Tim. You heard him do the address a couple weeks ago. Welcome back, Tim.
Thank you very much, Sandra. I want to echo Avril's words about the session we've had so far, from Darren's prayer and hearing about Harriet, and then being reminded again that motivation comes from within, from Carrie. That's fantastic. It's been inspirational, absolutely, all the way through. And of course, loved the music. Phil loved it, and Avril, the inspiring messages. So thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be here as well. As I connect with the spirit world, I have Father here, and there would be a memory of Father taking you to Nassau.
NASA is in the Bahamas, or the
NASA,
space place?
NASA, the space place in Florida.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, who understands this information? Cape Canaveral, NASA. That's where we're talking, right?
That's right, yeah.
All right, so we have a friend here. I don't know your name. We got some numbers to begin with a Q. If you'd like to press your unmute button. Could be by accident. I'm not sure. You are not pressing your unmute button. Let me ask if you could become a panelist. This could be by error, but maybe not. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, what is your name? This could be an accident, Tim.
No problem.
I'm not sure we have a.
Okay, well, I'll go,
there.
let me go into this a little bit
Continue.
more then.
Mhm.
So I can drop a relationship. This is a gentleman in spirit. I do believe he would be family, and that there would have been a trip that would have taken us to Cape Canaveral, Cape Kennedy.
Okay. Now, I know there's a couple of us panelists that can take that information, Tim. We always send the intendeds to our congregation. Would that be you, Carrie? It would be Carrie, and I can take it to Tim.
Okay. Shall I work with you, or shall I find another contact?
What do our tutors say? Go
Sure.
for it. I think go for it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, then if I can go back, I just want to double check that this is not Father in Spirit who went to Cape Canaveral. Is that correct?
I can take Father. Let's have our friends unmute themselves over here.
I can take father-in-law, Tim.
Okay. Now, actually, I've not done readings for either one of you concerning this person. So let's go a little bit further. I feel that you would recognize the name Tom.
No, for me.
Yes.
Okay. So, Carrie, if I continue to work with you for just a bit here, I feel this gentleman was, your father-in-law, was very much like a little kid when he got excited.
Yes.
And that there was a special connection the two of you had looking in eyes.
Yes.
And it feels like you could just know exactly how he was feeling by looking in his eyes.
Correct.
And I also feel that there were times in which he may have been a little troubled, a little bit upset, disturbed, but you caught him. You could see in his eyes that he saw you, and that gave him joy.
I understand what you mean, yes.
And I feel also, we're talking about motivation, and I feel that there's a time in which for your father-in-law that you provided him motivation.
Yes.
And I feel that that was close to his passing.
Yes.
And I feel that although your connection, your emotional connection to your father-in-law was already strong, I feel it was at this time that it became even stronger.
Yes.
And you would understand that he was good at verbalizing how he felt about you.
Yes.
But close to the end, he had trouble communicating.
No.
Okay. Then you would understand that closer to the end, his words became much more poignant.
Yes.
They would become concise, and they would become more direct about his emotions.
Correct.
I also feel your father-in-law, you would understand, went to NASA.
We did, yes.
Yes. And that was actually one of the highlights of his life that he talked about.
He talked about it, yes.
Yes. And would you understand too that your father-in-law loved to fly?
Yes.
Loved to travel, but especially loved the airplanes and loved to talk about that as well.
Correct.
And it feels as if there are aspirations of being a pilot that he never got to attain.
I don't know.
Okay. Would you understand, your father-in-law imitating an airplane?
I don't remember, Tim.
Yeah. Feels very much that he just loved airplanes. He loved airplane movies. You would understand the airplane movies?
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, we watched a little bit of Tom Cruise. I feel like there's a lot of the Tom Cruise Top Gun things he used to like.
Yes, we watched that together.
Yes. Yeah. And you would have a memory, there's a special moment memory of, there were times that he would be holding your hand, but I feel that close to the passing, you in a sense returned the favor and you were holding his hand.
Close to his passing, yes.
And that was reassurance. I feel that there was a lot of shared emotion that didn't need to be spoken.
Correct.
And that he understood you and loved you as his daughter.
Correct.
And I feel very much that he's expressing that emotion still and continual now, and wants to really impress upon you how much that motivation you gave to him really mattered.
Thank you.
And that could be symbolized in that hand holding that he brought forward.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thank you for working with me.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Tim.
Okay. I have a lady in spirit here. Okay, she would have been known for wearing wigs, but she tried to get away with it not being recognized. And I do feel this is family member. I'm not quite sure of relationship yet, but this is a lady who wore wigs. Everybody knew she wore wigs, but she tried to downplay it as much as possible.
She sounds great. Ladies and gentlemen, who can recognize this wonderful lady? No hands up just yet.
Okay, let's go in a little bit more. Now, I do feel that this lady was very extroverted. She was very out there. And she preferred not to mention, I'm going back to the wigs again, because I feel that's important. She preferred not to talk about it. And yet it was known that she was wearing the wigs.
All right, Stacy has her hand raised. Let's bring in Stacy. If you could unmute yourself, Stacy. Hi, Stace.
Hi, Sandra. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Stacy. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. So fun to watch you work.
Thanks.
Like
now
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can do the work. If you can just answer yes, no, I don't know, that would be great. Now, I basically repeated the same material, but I just want to go over that because I feel there was a time in which she wore a wig just for style.
Yes.
But then later in life, she did need to have a wig for her hair.
Yes.
And I feel that when she was choosing to wear the wig in her younger years, she was quite a live wire.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She was indomitable, couldn't keep her spirit down, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel that she would actually, you would have known and seen her physically dancing. She was just one that would dance even without music.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she would try to get more and more people involved in raising the energy. She was great about spotting when energy needed to be pumped up.
Yes, she did.
Now, I don't feel that her sense of humor was necessarily her strong point. It was okay. It was just her enthusiasm was what would really work a crowd.
Yes.
And I feel that you knew her at that stage, and you also knew her closer to her passing as well.
I did, yes.
And there's a feeling here that the energy that she used to portray, that moving around, she wasn't able to physically do anymore.
Correct.
However, again, I'm drawn to her eyes, just like Carrie's father-in-law. Her eyes would just be sparkling, and you could see all the thoughts of moving around, and all that energy was trapped in her eyes still.
Yeah, you just gave me chills with that one. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I feel that you did care for her. You physically had to care for her in her later years.
Not so much, but I tried to visit her more often.
Okay. And you'd understand this as grandma?
No.
No, okay. But she was really close to you, closer than, again, I'm not sure of the relationship, but she was much closer to you, especially at the younger years for you.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. And she was almost like a mother at times, periodically, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. And there seems to be the connection between the two of you where there was a sense of humor without speaking. You could just look at each other and start laughing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that joy was so contagious, so contagious. And it feels too, I'm going back to the theme of motivation, that for her, she didn't have an easy time in her adulthood that you're aware of.
Right.
But that's not the part of her you saw.
Right.
That's not the part that she would let the world see. And in fact, instead, it's that indomitable spirit.
Exactly. Yes.
And I feel that you did look up to her as a source of inspiration and the motivation that we've been talking about.
I absolutely did. Yes.
Yeah. And I feel she's come through before for you in other readings.
Yes.
Yeah. And her message has always been timely for yourself, in that you've sort of been on a bit of a down curve.
Yes.
And so she's bringing that forward again, that I feel that she wants you to look at the happy memories and what she did to get crowds around her enthusiastic, and how she raised energy, that she was like the center of a tornado almost of energy.
Yeah. Yeah. That describes her.
She sees that in you, I feel. And she sees that that's a great cue perhaps for you to help raise your energy as well, because you're going to then affect the people around you.
Yeah, that's true.
And I do feel from her that she feels you have that infectious gene, if I can say it that way.
Yep.
Yeah. And that you can motivate people, you can inspire people to raise their energy and their happiness.
I do try.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a good similarity between you and her.
Mm-hmm.
And as before, she gives you her love.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be able to bring her to you today.
Oh, thank you so much, Tim. I actually just had a picture fall out of a bag that I didn't even know was here, and it was like, holy moly, there she is. This is my aunt. So I was very close to her.
Excellent. Thanks, Stacy.
Oh, that was wonderful, Tim. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thanks, Sandra, for allowing me to work.
Oh, thank you. Really great to watch you work. Beautiful, you and Avril. We appreciate you being here. And ladies and gentlemen, I know full well that we all get excited hoping our loved one comes through. We do. And these handful of people from the spirit world are just coming through on behalf of everybody to say their love is real and we're still around. If you can remember Carrie talking in her address about self-motivating, recalling memories and things, we can all do that. Think of our loved one, think of our special time, whether it's their laugh or spending some quiet time, whatever that memory is, that's a doorway in. Avril and Tim are not just mediums, but they're longtime students. They're constantly in one of our courses and keeping honing their skills. I wish it was an easy process, but it takes work for us human beings to get in touch with the spirit world and our soul. It really takes getting in touch with ourselves and quieting down and being in touch with our feelings. And how many of us do that? It's tough, I know. And they come through our thoughts and our feelings and our imagination. They are around, they are real, and you will see them again. That I promise. So just some announcements, and something funny came into my mind is I remember my younger sister, and she never wanted to try chocolate ice cream. She said it looked disgusting. So she never tried it. She went for vanilla and the fruit flavors and things. I could never convince her about how good chocolate was. But we all know how good chocolate ice cream is, right? Well, I think the same thing holds true on our Sunday gatherings. I'm always making announcements, inviting you to things, and you might just brush over it and think, oh, here she goes again. But it's like, it's chocolate ice cream, what I'm talking about. Oh, on Friday, there was a beautiful demonstration with Scott Milligan. He sits, it's called In the Arms of Eternity, where we sit for healing, followed by a demonstration of trance mediumship. And the conversations with a friend in the unseen world are so extraordinary, give you goosebumps, give you inspiration and motivation for life. And then just yesterday, Carrie and Phil had a 5-hour workshop called The Altered States. Anything from daydreaming to sleep. I mean, our mind goes through so many things. And there was one exercise that closed our eyes and we could actually feel the love of our spirit team step in and step out. I mean, chocolate ice cream. I tell you, Mondays we're with Scott Milligan for Trance in the Altered States. Tuesdays, Carrie and Phil have a course called Psychometry and Other Psychic Tools. We got a psychic class on Wednesday, mediumship class on Thursdays. Scott does too, sitting in the power hours on Tuesdays, Fridays. I told you we were together. We've got a whole string of things coming up. And folks, they're chocolate ice cream, really, truly. Money back guarantee, you never have to take a risk. But we just want you to know that you are an eternal soul having a human experience, and it is your divine right to know that and feel the love of this unseen world and know how powerful your beautiful soul really is. So details for everything, chocolate ice cream, subliminal message. Go to wedon'tdie.com and just click on the store. You can also register for next week's Sunday gathering. And Darren will be in charge of that, cooking up something good, I'm sure. So I'm going to pass it over to Phil for some words for the week.
Thank you so much, Sandra. It's absolutely wonderful to always listen to you. But I don't think we need any more motivation, do we? We've got chocolate ice cream. That's all we need to say now, chocolate ice cream. And I'll say it again, chocolate ice cream. No, actually, I want to thank the team, Sandra, Darren, Tim, and Avril and Kerry, because they've motivated you. As a chairperson, you want the best for your speakers, for whether they're demonstrating or speaking. And even when doing the prayers, you want to start that power off in the right way. So there's always been a theme of motivation, but behind the Sunday gathering, there's always that theme of that power running through it, that love running through it. It's really about giving you a highlight for the week. So I asked Sandra to do the reading and the healing, and asked Darren to do the prayers and Kerry to do the motivational address, because I know they generate that power for our speakers when me and Kerry work. So I wanted that power for Avril and Tim. And boy, guys, did you do a good job. So thank you so much for that. And I'm sure every other person that's participated in the courses has that motivation to be where you are today, to have that inspiration to say, I want to do that. I want to work as well as that. So thank you for motivating us as tutors, but also for motivating those other students as well. But it's Sandra's word, Sandra's reading. And I've got to go back to that, because we always plan things. We might have a theme in our mind, but when we hear one of us speak, it really does motivate us. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, we all have a Harriet Thompson within us. Whether it's a marathon that you run, or do we compare it to life? Because life can be a bit of a marathon as well, can't it? It can be hard work, there's challenges, and sometimes we have to really dig deep. So I believe that we have those same words that Harriet said, I can do. We can get through it, because as Kerry said, we can find our why, we can find our passion and purpose that gets us up from that first song that knocks you down. We get back up again because we never stop believing. And it's that feeling within us from Justin Timberlake's song that really gets you going. So you can see behind the power of the songs, the speakers, the motivators, the mediums, it's all about getting you to be the best person that you can be. And sometimes when life gets tough, and Winston Churchill once said, if you feel like you're going through hell, keep on going. That mentality that sees us through. So ladies and gentlemen, take that inspiration, take that motivation from today, And when you're going through that little bit of a personal hell yourself, remember Harriet Thompson, at her age and what she achieved. She never stopped doing, she never stopped believing. So take a little piece of that thought and keep it within you for this week coming, and be the best that you can do. And I'm going to hand over to Darren to close this service down in prayer. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for those wonderful words, Phil, and thank you for putting together a great theme. I thoroughly enjoy being part of it and listening and watching each and every one of you work. So thank you for that. Sadly, we have to bring our gathering to a close. So if you'd all like to close your eyes and join me for the closing prayer. We'd like to offer our heartfelt thanks to our friends, brothers and sisters for coming together as one under that banner of We Don't Die and allowing this Sunday gathering to take place here today. And for having the faith and trust in our workers and our loved ones in that world we call unseen, for truly bringing together the two worlds together as one and uniting in that oneness. I would like to extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to our friends, helpers and loved ones of that world we call unseen, for being here with us today each and every week and for allowing us that opportunity to work with your world. We deem it an absolute joy and privilege, and we do this to the best of our ability and the best of our understanding. So we truly hope we've made you proud, as this is done with the utmost honesty and integrity. I'm thanking you all for the opportunity for allowing us all to come together as one and experience that unconditional love, that healing balm, those words and those thoughts from the unseen world that bring us as moments of joy, happiness, upliftment and healing. As we leave this Sunday gathering, we all take our own gifts and experiences, but the number one thing we'll take from today is motivation. As we continue our own journeys of life, treading our own pathways, we do so with the comfort and knowledge to know that you continually walk by our side, helping us, guiding us, inspiring us, but most of all motivating us to be the best that we can be. So as we leave this Sunday gathering once again, we ask that you continue to shine that healing light to all four corners of our globe so that others can feel that unconditional love, that joy and that happiness in these tough times, and which can bring those moments of healing to those that may be in need at this time. Until we're made again, friends, amen.
Thank you, Darren. Just beautiful. And I just want to show you guys a card that I keep in my bedroom. All who have accomplished great things have had a great aim. Oh, all those who have accomplished great things have had a great aim, have fixed their gaze on a goal which was high, one which sometimes seemed impossible. Remember that this weekend for our closing song, folks. This is your fight song, because you sure do. You got a lot of fight left in you. Go make something happen today. Everybody's on screen now, so we can wave to you and say, have a great week. We will see you next Sunday, if not before. We love you. Mwah. Thanks for being here. Have a good rest of your day.